Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, everyone. Assuming that my channel is still around. I don't know if I'm going to have shown that last episode or not. I'm recording this way in advance. But, oh my gosh, that was, That was interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to carry on here. So just sort of fade it out. I thought I'd just fade out, you know, after the love scene. Carry on. Okay. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly open. The light from outside making me blink a bit to let them get adjusted. My body feels like lead, and my head feels just as heavy. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. Oh, what a feeling! And we're shagging on the ceiling. What a feeling! And we're shagging on the ceiling. Dancing on the ceiling. Reminds me of the first time I woke up to the dimpled white tile ceiling of the hospital. It's only after spending a few seconds staring up that I realize where I am. This is Hanako's dormitory room. Oh, you gotta sneak out of here. Oh, damn. I feel as though my heart stopped again, as the events of last night rush through my head, and blood rushes to my cheeks. And I shut my eyes once more. There's very little point of getting myself worked up this early, though, so I try to push such things out of my mind for now. I roll my head to the side to see if Hanako's where she was when I had drifted off to sleep. All that's there now is an empty space on the bed and the room beyond. Yeah. Well, there you go. You've been shagged and dumped, Hanako. Hisao, sorry. She's left you. She just used you and she's gone now. I sluggishly sit up and rub my eyes before pinching the bridge of my nose and looking around the room. That was probably the single most awkward love scene I think I've seen in anything. At no point in any of that did anyone look like they were enjoying themselves. The only person here is me. I'm still bereft of my clothes, and after a quick scan of the floor for them, I noticed that they're neatly folded in the corner of the room. Try as I might, I can't see Hanako's anywhere. The foil packet for the con has been removed too, presumably put in the bin. With a great yawn, I get myself out of the bed and quickly look for some underwear. I grimace a little at the prospect of putting some boxers back on after yesterday's efforts did a job on them. Gross. But I don't have much choice. He's like, oh, they're all covered in semen. Taking advantage of the fact that I have some time without anyone around, I get myself dressed for the coming school and day in short order. And then, I'm alone. Without anything more to busy myself with, my mind becomes focused on the fact that I'm standing in another person's bedroom after we spent the night together. There's not a single sign of her around. My gut proves to be more helpful than my brain at working out this riddle, with a loud growl. It reminds me that she may well just be getting breakfast, or she's ditched you. I'd have liked to wake up next to her. Maybe it's good for the thing that I have a few moments alone. Hanako's room, as always, is quite bleak in appearance. There are precious few decorations and practically no personal artifacts that aren't hidden away in cupboards and drawers. She's lived here for 3 years, but the room looks as if it's barely been occupied for a single day. I shouldn't overthink this. She might just like living this way, as some do. Having the ability to put such low stock in physical possessions does have its advantages, but even so, it feels like a little disconcerting given her past. She said she viewed herself as having had her life on hold while at the orphanage. She certainly lives as if she still does, but after what happened last night, it's pretty hard to imagine that she still thinks that way. I sort of out. Some of the door handle cracks through my thoughts as I turn to face it. Sure enough, Hanako comes through shuts the door behind her. She has what seems to be 2 microwaved instant meals in her hands. So this is a little difficult. Good morning, Hanako. Good sex?
Morning.
She gives a little bow before making her way to her desk, setting down both plates. I can now see them to be small satay dishes, their contents steaming with a fork stuck inside the rice of each. I give thanks to her for bringing them in. Thanks to you. And we both take one and get down to eating. She sits on her desk chair while I sit on the side of the bed. I don't like talking about eating, so the silence between us isn't annoying in and of itself. It's the fact that it only exists because we don't quite know what to say to each other that's off-putting. Yeah. Hanako glances towards me every so often as she eats. I only notice her doing so because I'm doing the same thing. We're eating together as if we were a couple. We even had sex last night, the first for both of us. Something feels wrong, though. Maybe it's because it was the most awkward and uncomfortable sex I've ever seen in my life. Maybe that's why we can't even say a word to each other as we finish our plates and leave them in the sink. The sink? Maybe that's why we leave Hanako's room without holding hands or making small talk. Maybe that's why it feels as if we're further apart than we've ever been before. We entered the classroom together, neither of us so much as glancing at each other. Just after we do, I realise that this may have been a mistake. Suzune's lifts her eyebrow at the sight, her suspicions raised. We reach the centre aisles. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to change my pants. Between the classroom desks and look at each other. I'm not quite sure what I should say. Does she want me to address her as a girlfriend? I don't think our relationship was... Oh, that's why this feels so strange. See you. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's so awkward. I awkwardly hold up her hand as we part and take our seats at our respective desks. I can't even look back to her out of embarrassment. I feel like the gulf between Hanako and I is because of me. Shizune begins to make... What's going on here? Shizune begins to make her way towards me, but then Muto enters the room. You probably should discuss this while eating. He's like, so, you just want to be blunt. So, yeah, what are we doing now? Are we, like, together, or we just... Was that, like, a one-night thing? Yeah. Just be blunt. Drawing Shizune and her questioning away to wait for another time. I wouldn't have been able to answer her anyway. I like Hanako, but I've never told her what my feelings for her are. Hanako never said she saw me as anything beyond a friend either. Yet despite that, we slept together. Trust me, it didn't look like either of you wanted to. The bell to signal the beginning of lunch rings out. Muto is taken a little off guard, his chemistry lecture being cut off mid-sentence, much to his chagrin. For the entirety of the class, his rambling has passed through one ear and out of the other as my mind mulls over the question of Hanako. I can't get her out of my mind, and by now I've managed to wind myself up about it. I realise that she never said yes to what we did. Oh god, she didn't say no either, but would she have been able to? She's extremely submissive at the best of times, and no doubt it took a gargantuan effort. This is just creepy. Now he's like, did I just accidentally rape her without her saying no? It kind of seemed that way. It was a little bit creepy. I decided to try at least make conversation with her. It would be better than the monosyllabic communications that's been the most we've managed since so far today. I walk to her desk, intending to chat, but she awkwardly blushes and looks down even before I've come up to her. I take a breath to speak, but find myself lost for words. What in the world should I say to her? Hearing approaching footsteps, I turn to see Shizune and Misha already making their way towards us, no doubt with the intent to start asking troublesome things. A couple of other classmates are looking at us and gossiping between themselves as they throw sidelong glances. They must also have noticed Hanako and I coming in together earlier. I open my mouth to reassure Hanako, but she preempts me. I gotta get this way! I turned to Speedy Gonzales all of a sudden. She gets out of her chair and dashes for the door. I couple of the books and pens that were on the desk are sent falling to the floor in her rush. Not many people seem to care about this event. Few look around to see what all the fuss is about, but go back to what they were previously doing soon afterward. I'm left despairingly looking at the door that Hanako disappeared out of. The idea of running after her passes through my mind, but I'm fairly sure that Hanako can run faster than I can. He probably should have said, like, hey, I kind of got carried away there, didn't he? When he should be like, hey, I like you a lot. Or whatever. I don't know. He probably should have said something. And besides, what should I say to her once I caught up anyway? Hey, I love you! How about that? Okay, not love. I really care about you. I don't know. Eventually, I simply crouched down and picking up the items that had fallen to the ground from her desk. I feel low in every way. Reduced to this as students pass by me on their way out of the room. My god. Oh god, the harpies. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look up to see Shizune and Misha looking at me. Curiosity about the situation written on their faces. Mixed with a slight apologetic look at the idea that they were partially responsible for what just happened.
Hichan, if we can help at all.
I just shake my head. This isn't a matter for them. No. From Shizune's expression and the tone of Misha's voice, I think they know the same thing. Shizune acknowledges my response and gives a solemn bow before making her way out of the room. Misha soon follows her out, obediently following her role as Shizune's shadow. I pick myself up, books and pens in hand, and place them inside Hanako's desk. With the classroom now empty, I end up just leaning against her desk and thinking to myself in silence. Into thinking mode. It feels like there's a complete emotional disconnect between Hanako and I. We haven't even known each other for all that long. This guy... I think maybe it's just me, though. I... personally... don't put much on sex. It's like a thing. But he obviously puts a lot of thought and emotion into it. And despite wanting to start going out with her, I really don't know that much about how Hanako views things. I've been studying as hard as I can for exams, but I still don't feel like I have any real sense of direction behind it. I try to be a friend to Hanako, even though I couldn't tell her my feelings, and all we've done is drive each other apart. I couldn't even write a letter back to the one girl who ever loved me, Hanako. What should I do? What can I do? Oh my god, you fucking drive me nuts. Oh my god, just tell her. Just fucking tell her. Oh god, this guy, he seriously annoys me sometimes. I simply don't know the answer to either of those questions. I do know that nobody else can help me with them. Just going back to the way things would be enough to make me happy, but I know that it can never happen.
Why would you want to? You clearly don't.
Oh my god. Something changed between us last night. Yeah, you had sex. Maybe it changed beforehand and it just came out to a head then. I know there's a wall that Hanako has between me and her. I've been hitting that wall ever since I've tried to interact with her on every level. Hit it hard. But now I'm beginning to think that I have my own wall up just as much between us just as much as she does. She has to practically drag my past out of me. And mine was much less traumatic than hers. I want to say it's because I haven't had long to adjust since my heart attack, but I know full well that it would just be an excuse. The one time I can recall when it really felt like she was opening up to me of her own accord, when we were playing billiards in the city, I was the one who stopped her from going further. I said this, it was such a stupid idea. I want to know Hanako better. I want to save our friendship, if not begin a real relationship with her. Fucking do something. You are making me want to hurt you. My mind begins to tick as I sit against her desk, thinking to myself in the empty classroom that we spent so much time in together. I have to talk to Hanako. Yes, you do. I pace around in the park, feelings of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often I reach into my pocket to take up my phone, but each and every time I hesitate and end up slipping it back in. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Fortunately, it isn't, and so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 in the afternoon. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between us. The one that started conversations, went to her whenever she was, and suggested what we should do. Today, this once, I don't want to be the only one doing that. My hand dives into my pocket once more. This time I quickly navigate to the texting menu before I have a chance to change my mind. Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Fighting a last measure of doubt, I thumb in my message to Hanako and press the button to send it. No, don't do texting, do calling. And now, I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. Oh yeah, I've done all I can. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It would be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swill it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. I shouldn't be this tense, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me. What happened in the last couple of days has put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we've made and coming closer to one another and losing our friendship as a whole is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't really know how close we are. We may have had sex, but before that, all I knew was friends. Maybe we are more than that, but if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why I feel so uneasy right now. I don't understand Hanako. Despite all the time we've spent together, the minutes are ticking. The minutes are ticking by, and I still have no idea where she'll show up. Hisao? Ah, yeah. I pause for a moment, almost not believing that I'm hearing the voice I am hearing. I'm not believing I'm hearing the voice that I am hearing. I drop the can and stand up with a start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact and begins to nervously fiddle with the roughly cut lock of her hair covering the side of her face. When I went to see Hanako in her room by myself after her breakdown, I had no idea what to say. It was fine then. All of us ever wanted was each other's presence. Now though, I feel like I need to talk to her directly. I want to break down this wall between us. Gorbachev! Break down this wall! Reagan smash! Reagan smash! Reagan sleepy. Reagan sleepy. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Why did I do Nixon? Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Hanako, what we did last night, how should I interpret that? What a weird way to say that. Hanako stops playing with her hair and looks at me. Her head cast slightly downwards. She looks ashamed. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Which is probably a good mirror of how I would look at now if I weren't so concerned.
I thought you might eventually go away if I was only someone you needed to protect. I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than... Oh, that makes the whole thing so fucking creepy! I'm gonna have to go have a shower now. I feel dirty as fuck. Oh, God.
That's so creepy. My first reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back, questioned what we were doing. In the end, though, I didn't. A horrible feeling rises in the pit of my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted, and now it feels like I took advantage of her. It feels so fucking horrible. She may have been willing, but only under false premises. I've never been good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now is no different. Hanako looks down once more, a strange mixture of depression, regret, and sickness written to her face. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing through the trees around us. Just tell her you fucking care about her or love her or whatever. Just... Oh, it's creepy as shit.
I knew you couldn't look at me that way.
Hanako's words are said in little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much at herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean?
All I ever was to you was a useless person. Just someone to protect. Someone like a child. I wanted to be more than that. More to you than that. But after so long, I got used to it. I fucking said this from the... Oh my god.
I'm so fucking good at this. I'm way better at this shit than, like, this fuck dude is. Oh, God. It's so annoying, right? That you know this, and then it's like, oh, fucking, oh. The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard you use before. She sounds disgusted, not at me, but at herself.
After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I felt like I was going to lose you because you wanted somebody you could have that kind of relationship with. You were more quiet in school than before, and you were getting on so well with Yuko. I thought then I might lose you.
She thought I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship? But...
Don't say friends.
But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that, even if what you're saying was true. Friendship
was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened after the accident. Before the accident happened, I got on well with people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind because I treasured the ones that I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by the others and teased a lot. It hurt really deeply. The teachers tried to help, but they couldn't do much, and even many of them recoiled at just the sight of me. Among those calling me names and teasing me were the ones that I thought were my closest friends.
Fucking children, man. Hanako, I'm gonna go back in time and beat them up for you.
From then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled. After all, it was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily, and then you, I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again.
All that time, she didn't trust me. She thought, just like everyone else in her life that she was worthless. Someone to throw away once I got bored of being with her. That hurts. That's the one kind of person I never ever wanted to be seen as. Because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those who I thought liked me. She's cracking from the memories she's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. In a strange way, though, I'm almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The wall between us is going away, even if it hurts so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you just told me.
Was I wrong? Of course you...
She wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me, and to Lily, she was someone we tried to protect. She'd become to me what I'd become to my friends after my heart attack. A broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class, and I thought I should try to protect you. When you locked yourself in your room, though, I got afraid. I thought you were rejecting me, and it forced me to think a lot about different things.
I wasn't rejecting you.
Well, hallelujah! Oh my god, these two are both... Do you know what? Both of these two are as useless as each other. She blurts it out with an almost scared tone to her voice, taking me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed by her outbursts before clenching her fists and working through what she wants to say in her mind.
I wouldn't ever do that to you. Not to you. Even though I was scared, even though I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same. Everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered. Everyone pretending everything was alright for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I'd always been, unable to do anything for her or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you.
Lily and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her, it would have made her only feel. It would only have made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I had right about her was a complete misjudgment. Damn, you got it all wrong. You mean like the complete wrong way. After you locked yourself in your room, I decided to try to work out my past as well and sort out my future. I didn't know how to deal with the things I'd lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Oh, she's disappeared. Silence hangs in the air. I keep trying to look at her, but I can't. I feel really low. And though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath and only look back to her after hearing her drop to the ground. Oh, God. The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know that I can't do anything to help her. If Hanako feels ashamed, then I feel all the more so. It's like Nightcrawler. I rush to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks, unabated. Wrapping my arms around her, I don't care how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now.
I'm sorry, Hisao. I've messed up everything.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm the one who should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back and I never told you anything. I can feel my grip tightening on Hanako as my vision blurs. I can't be bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as a lump begins to stick in my throat. Oh, I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. You can feel it there. Like, to tell you the truth, Hanako, I was scared. For the first time since my heart attack, I was really scared.
So?
I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. I was depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have that hole inside me. After losing my entire life and everyone I'd known. The thought of losing you as well.
But I'm just useless.
You're my friend, Hanako. No, you're more than that. Exactly. Finally!
Fuck me! I'm sick of I'm sick of him saying friend. I love you, Hanako! I love you so much!
What's the one with what is the one with the boombox and he holds it over his head? And outside the window.
I love you so much! I love you so much, darling!
But the thought of losing you frightened me so much. Oh, this is bad. I'm really letting all this out. I can't bring myself to look at her face right now. Seriously, this guy is he's allergic to his own emotions.
I'm sorry, Hisao. I can't help feeling a bit happy. For so long, that's what I've wanted to hear.
The last of the floodgates breaks, the sound of her crying permeating the air as her body jerks against mine. We hold each other tightly, we look like a right pair here. Tightly connected, more closely than ever, in our shared grief and our shared happiness. This is quite sad. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There's no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. After dropping the dirtied can into a bin next to the bench, I take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave to her to clean herself up, which hasn't helped much. She looks like a right mess. Then again, I doubt I'd look more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed. After letting my emotions out in public like that, it's not a bad sensation, though. I think Hanako feels the same way, too. Have you calmed down a bit? You're hysterical, woman.
Yes, thank you.
For a while, we just sit and take our time before talking to one another. We both need a little time to collect ourselves.
The weather is nice at this time of year.
Yeah, it is. And then he dies. I close my eyes for a moment, relishing the feeling of the sun's heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really, really nice. You know, I don't really want to go back to classes right now. Do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes with her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice, and it's a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be a completely normal, everyday thing for Hanako, though. She smiles so rarely and so sincerely that each and every time she does it, I feel a sense of relief and happiness.
I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay. I think we both have a bit to be sorry for.
I know that. I'm too shy. I know you don't want me to be. I don't think I can.
You can change, Hanako. I know that because even in the time I've known you, you've already changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means that you've changed a lot since we first met.
But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either.
Hanako's confidence begins to slide down again, but I think that now I can finally talk to her as an equal. And I can do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time, and I think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying. I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know?
But I can't ask that of you.
You can, because that's exactly what I'm asking of you. I'm going for the same thing, you know. It's called love. Hanako smiles before I get off the bench and dust myself off. She does the same in short measure. I'm kind of hungry. Want to grab something to eat? She nods vigorously, the way she's smiling, the way she's acting, even just the general air she gives off. I feel as if this is the first time I've seen her genuinely happy. We both make our way onto the street, walking beside each other.
Hisao?
Yeah?
I think I don't really understand you.
I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine, though. There's not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. But that's fine. As long as we take it day by day and try to understand one another, I think everything will be okay. As we walk down the street, though, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. Is something on your mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. When I turn to meet her, she takes a long, deep breath, looking at my face intently. The expression. I saw it once before on her face. Just once when I accidentally surprised her in her room.
I think I have something I need to give you.
What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it.
I wanted to give you this for a long time, but now that I need to, it's too embarrassing.
Don't worry, I'll accept it, whatever it is. Punch to the face! She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand.
Please accept my first gift to you, Hisao.
Hanako? Aww. Whoa, what's with the creepy dude on the side? What's the creepy girl on the side? Aww. That was a lovely ending. A little bit emotional there. What's going on? There we go. Apparently I had to press a button. Huh. So that was the best ending then, I'm thinking. Writing. These people need to be given a round of applause. And the music, definitely the music as well. And the art. Everyone in this needs to be given a round of applause. What a lovely ending. Those nudie pictures appearing? Might have to censor that out. I hope not. And that is Hanako's story. Thanks for watching, guys.